You ever move somewhere, thinking it's a fresh start, only to feel like the land itself doesn't want you there? I was 14 when my parents moved me and my 3 siblings to a quiet, perfect town. A place people called the Booth Bay Harbor of our county. Diverse, lively, a real upgrade from the crumbling 18th floor apartment we left behind. Felt like hope, until the first night. I woke at midnight to birds screaming outside. Not chirping, screaming. Then came the laughter, human but distant, broken, hysterical. Pitch black. No moon, no street lamps. Not a glimmer of light, just a swallowing dark. I shook my little sister awake. She blinked at me, groggy. What noises? Go back to sleep, weirdo. But the screaming didn't stop. Only I could hear it. At a neighborhood gathering, music blaring, people laughing, I felt a tug. An old woman, the one everyone calls Abuela, shuffled toward me. She pressed a slice of pie into my hands, her eyes glassy but fixed on mine. You are gifted, Z. Not everyone can hear and see what you do. I tried to laugh it off. Are you just saying that to make me feel better? She didn't blink. Her smile vanished. Her voice became a scream. Tell them to move out. The land is cursed. Her bony finger jabbed toward my chest. The music cut. The lights flickered. I collapsed, screaming, as my father rushed to carry me home. With each day come new horrors. Whispers in our walls, shadows that didn't belong. A cold breath on my neck when I walked alone. My parents started joking with neighbors, calling me the seer. She hears things, sees things. Don't mind her, she's just got an imagination. But the neighbors would glance at me too long, as if they were waiting for me to say something. That's when the town began to rot. The next morning, a man 2 blocks over, stable job, perfect life, was fired without warning. By nightfall, the old woman next door had a stroke. For 2 weeks, every day brought another disaster. Neighbors walking aimlessly in the dark, whispering to no one. Healthy people collapsing with sudden illness. And a shadow creeping across blocks like a countdown, taking someone new each month, from one building block to the next. They didn't feel like day anymore. The sky stayed a bruised gray, with just a single dim light above like some cruel torch, as if something was watching. The town, once full of hope and noise, became silent, waiting. No one knew who would be next. Late one night, walking home, I saw her again. Abuela, standing in the road, her shawl dragging, her shadow stretching unnaturally long. You didn't tell them, she rasped. Now it will get worse. She shuffled past me, stopped, turned, and smiled. A mouth with only 2 teeth, her grin wide and trembling. I tried to scream, but my lips felt sewn shut, an invisible, unbreakable thread binding them. The taste of metal filled my mouth. I tried to run, but her shadow fused with mine, pinning me still. My eyes stretched wide, screaming silently for help. I jolted upright in my bed, my father holding me, whispering, "It's okay, you're safe." Cold autumn air cutting through my sweat-soaked shirt. Was it a dream? Or did I just wake up somewhere worse? Last night I told them everything. About Abuela, the dream, the noises, the sketches I'd been seeing on the walls, shapes I didn't draw. The room went silent, not a sound. My mother finally spoke, soft, almost trembling. "Sweetheart, Abuela doesn't live here anymore. She lives far away." Relief almost hit me, until she said the next words. "Actually, we can't call her Z. Abuela died months ago." The night of that party. Froze. My chest tightened. I could hear my heart ticking like a clock, loud, mechanical, each beat punching the silence. "But I saw her," I whispered. "She gave me pie. Dad, you saw me holding it when you carried me home, didn't you?" My father's eyes darted to the floor. He didn't speak. I could still smell it, sweet burnt sugar, on my fingers, as if the memory itself was staining me. Was I losing my mind? Or did something wear her face, to warn me? The next morning I walked to the corner grocery, desperate for air, for normalcy. I must have looked pale, hollow, because a little boy at the register whispered to me, "That part of town isn't good. Ever wonder why locals don't live there?" I turned to him. "What did you just say?" He blinked, blank, confused, shrugged his shoulders and walked away without a word. It felt like the whole town was gaslighting me, or worse, testing me. I knew then, I had to get my parents, everyone, out of that neighborhood. But how? 2 months crawled by. I remember the exact timeline because every day my parents changed. Outside the neighborhood, they were loving, playful like before. But the second we drove back past the entrance, something shifted. Hatred filled the car like a gas leak. Sudden, heavy, choking. They'd bicker, scream, slam doors. At night, I'd lie awake listening to the creak of our walls, as if the house itself was breathing, listening. Every time I stepped outside, I felt the weight of unseen eyes. The streets were too quiet, the air heavy with static. The laughter and bird cries I'd heard on our first night. Now they follow me, soft, just beyond hearing, every time I was alone. And the sketches. More of them appeared in the corners of my notebooks, on the fogged bathroom mirror, even carved faintly into the wood under my bed. One evening, as I sat in the kitchen staring at my hands, I heard it again. A low, distant scream that sounded exactly like Abuela. I spun toward the window, and there she was, or what looked like her, standing across the street under a flickering street lamp, holding that same slice of pie, her grin showing an unexplainable expression. Her shadow stretched all the way to my feet like a chain. She didn't move. She just stared. And then the street lamp went out. I woke up, but this time I didn't shout. Just sat on the bed looking at my sister sleeping peacefully. The next morning, my parents barely spoke, their anger thick as smoke. And for the first time, I wondered if the land wasn't just cursed. Maybe it was alive, feeding on us, feeding on me.